Oh my god, isn't it beautiful? This is Tula Pink fabric. If you don't know what Tula Pink is, I'll link her collections down below. But when I saw this flamingo pattern, I had to have it. Isn't it stunning? And this is the back. So I kind of went with the flamingos going the opposite direction. But I love it because it's like a heart. Oh. But in today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make this really cute and easy pouch. It also has this really cute flamingo pull too. So it just matches perfectly. But we're going to learn how to make this, and we're going to learn how to quilt it as well. Look at that quilting. So why would I want to quilt a bag? It's going to add padding to your bag. So depending on what you put inside your bag, if you want to be a little bit protected, maybe you're going to put glass toiletries or cosmetics, this will add some, some padding and safety to be able to carry things around in your other bags. This is super easy to make, and I'm going to show you how to do this, and you're going to get the most beautiful little pouch. We're also going to learn how to put these little tabs on the end, and that also gives a little fun addition to your zipper pouch. And then the zippers they veer off into the fabric too. So a beautiful, beautiful zipper pouch that you can make in any size you want. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. My name is Ashley. I always forget to introduce myself, and I love to teach sewing projects. So please hang around, comment down below if you have any questions, and let's get into the tutorial. Hello, this is VoiceOver Ashley. So I have finally picked my fabric, and I am going to be cutting out these flamingos. Now if you want a fussy cut like me, then you're going to figure out what part of the fabric you want to cut, and then we're going to cut a little more than we need. So I went ahead and cut about an inch more than I thought, and that's just because sometimes when you quilt, things can tend to shift or warp. So we are going to be squaring this up at the end. So if you have a rough idea of how big you want your pouch to be, just make it a little bigger than that, and then you can cut it down to fit. I'm going to be using double layer of batting for the front and back. So I went ahead and cut some batting. It doesn't need to be perfect because, like I said, you're going to be trimming off the excess in the end anyways. So just roughly cut 2 or 1 piece of batting, and we're going to lay that behind our cotton fabric. And then I went ahead and pinned that with my quilt pins. Now we're going to design our little quilt pattern, and I'm using this friction pen. I'll have a link in the description box for these quilt pens. They're really lovely, and they actually disappear under the heat of your iron. So you can draw on your fabric and not feel bad because it will disappear in the end. So I went ahead and drew a sort of diamond quilt pattern. So I'm just drawing lines 1 inch apart with my quilt ruler, and then I'm going to turn my fabric and my ruler, and we're going to go the opposite way to create the diamond pattern. And now you can do this in any way. I did a pouch that had just lines, so it doesn't have to be anything specific. You can really have fun with this. So now I'm going to go ahead and install a walking foot. And I really like to use my walking foot when I am doing any sort of quilting or any sort of project that has layers of fabric. And that's because it will help to guide the fabric into the sewing machine evenly and smoothly. And when you have multiple layers like this, things tend to shift. So using a walking foot, it will have that even distribution on the top and the bottom, and you'll have a much nicer result. I have quilted without it, and I end up getting little puckers sometimes, and it doesn't look pretty. So now that we have all of our quilting done, which takes a minute, but just put on your favorite podcast or audiobook and just sew away. And now I'm going to go ahead and iron away all the friction pen lines. It's super easy, and you just need a little bit of heat and all those lines will disappear in no time. It's almost kind of like magic. Now we're going to take our fabric and we are going to square it up. So this is where you can kind of determine the size of your bag. Now, of course, you don't want to waste fabric. But with that being said, let's say you wanted to make a few bags. You could quilt a large piece of fabric and then cut out multiple bags out of that fabric so that you don't have to do each individual. You can just quilt one large piece, right? So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start to prepare our zipper. We're making a zipper stop. And I have a little piece of fabric that is 1.5 inches by 2. And we're going to fold in the sides. We're folding it the 2-inch side in towards itself, kind of like bias binding. And we're going to press that with a hot iron. It gets so hot that I like to use my tailor's clapper when I do this. And then I'll fold it in half again. And this will give me a finished zipper tab. So you may have seen zipper tabs that weren't finished. This is a finished one. And we're going to sew this on the end of the zipper where the zipper stop would be. No, where the zipper, the beginning of the zipper. And we are going to go ahead and do a top stitch. And I'll tell you that the walking foot actually does a really good job of applying these tabs. So if you have made these before and it didn't turn out great, try walking foot. It worked beautifully. So now we're going to install our zipper. So we have our finished panel right sides up. We're going to take our zipper and put it with the zipper pulled down, and we're going to put our lining on top. We cut that after we've determined the size of our bag. So I did that off camera. And I'm just going to make sure that zipper tab is about 1/2 inch away from the one end. And the other side of the zipper is kind of just hanging off, and that's okay because we're going to veer that off in just a second. So using my zipper foot, I'm going to go ahead and sew down my zipper. Once you get to the pole, you're going to open up the zipper and you're going to take that pole and put it behind your presser foot so we don't end up hitting it. And then we will continue on until we're about 1 inch away from the end of the fabric. And then we're going to get a better look, and we're going to sort of miter the corner of that zipper tape about 1/2 inch before we get to the end. So I just marked it with a pencil, so you could do that if you needed to. And then we're just going to sew right over top of it, and the zipper will now be sort of veering off into the fabric, which will give it a really clean look. And then we can continue to sew straight off. So after that, we're going to flip our fabric over so that we can see the right sides, and we're going to do a top stitch, which I think I forgot to film, but I'll show you top stitching on the other side after so you understand what I'm talking about. But we're going to go ahead and install the other side of the zipper in the exact same way, and everything will line up beautifully since we did it the first time. And we're going to do the same thing using our zipper foot, sewing down the side of the zipper. And once we get 1 inch away from the end, we're going to miter the end of that zipper and then move our zipper pull behind our presser foot. And then we will keep going and then veer that zipper tape off into the fabric. I really like the way that this looks, and it just looks so professional. So now we're going to go ahead and do that top stitch like I mentioned. So I did this on both sides, and it's just like probably about 1/8 of an inch away from the edge. It's just going to help to keep the lining down and to keep everything looking beautiful and professional. And now we can finish up this bag super easy. We're just going to bring the right sides of the exterior pieces together and the right sides of the lining together. Oh, we need to open the zipper so that we can open the bag when we actually flip it. We'll line up all the sides, and where the zipper is, there's a seam there. So you're just going to make sure that that seam kind of matches. And then we will sew all the way around the whole bag, leaving about a 4-inch gap in the lining, and that is what will help us turn the bag. That little zipper tab, you kind of need to fold it, and you can fold it towards the exterior of the bag. I like to sew mine with a 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch seam allowance to make sure everything is nicely caught in the seams. I can't tell you how many bags I've sewn where I went to flip it right sides out and realized I did not have all the fabric in the seams, and I had to flip it right back inside out again, which is such a pain. Oh my goodness. So I am using my zipper foot to do this, and that's just because I want to get nice and close to the edge of the zipper tab. Now you're not sewing over the zipper tab, you're sewing next to the zipper tab. And that's the great thing about this method, is that it's not super bulky in this area. If you had zipper tabs, then that would add extra layers of fabric. And then the same on the other side, because there's no zipper tabs and the zipper veers off into the fabric, then you don't have to sew over any zipper, and then it's not very bulky over there too. So I just find that the regular sewing foot is a little bit big when you're getting past those areas. So now I'm going to go ahead and flip the whole thing right sides out, and you can kind of poke that little tab out, poke out all your corners, and then just do a top stitch on the inside of the lining of the bag. And we are done! How adorable is our little pouch, and it is so easy to make. I love how it turned out, and I'll tell you right now that if you are interested in this bag, it will be available at my Etsy shop. I'll have that link down below. This is a one-of-a-kind bag, and you can have it for yourself. So, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!